रे सुन मन फूले बाबरे गुर की चरनी गुर की चरनी सतवां शुरू करना गुर ते निर्मल जानिए निर्मल देह शरीर निर्मल देह शरीर निर्मल साचो मन बसे सो जाने अब भी सहजे ते सुख अगरो सहजे ते सुख अगरो ना लागे जमती हर का मंदिर सोहिना किया करने रव सस दीप अनूप जोत त्रिभुवन जोत अबा आठ पटन गढ़ कोठड़ी सच सौदा बाबा ज्ञान अंजन भय भंजना देख निरंजन भाए गुप्त परगट सब जानिए जे मन राखे ठाए ऐसा सतगुर जे मिले ता सहजे लय मिला कस कसवटी लाइए पर के हित चित लाए खोटे ठाउर न पायनी खरे खजाने पाए आस अंदेशा दूर कर क्यों मल जाए समाए सुख को मांगे सब दुख ना मांगे कोई सुख को अज्ञ दुख अगला मन मुख बूझ न हो दुख सुख दुख सम कर जानिए सुख को मांगे सबको दुख न मांगे को सुखे का दुख अगला मन मुख बूझ न हो सुख दुख सम कर जानिए शब्द भेद सुख होए वेद पुकारे वाचिए ब्रह्म चार वाणी ब्रह्म व्यास मुन जन सेवक साधका नाम रते गुणतास सच रते से जिण गए हों सद बलहारे जास चौजुग मैले मन भरे जिन मुख नाम न हो भगति भाए विहुणिया मुँह काला पत हो जिन्नी नाम विसारिया अवगण मुठी रोए खोजत खोजत पाया डर कर मिले मिलाए आप पछाणे घर वसे हमें तृष्णा जाए नानक निर्मल उजले जो राते हर in our last sitting we were given a message पूछो जाए पधावा चले चाकर होए राजन जाने अपना धर घर ठाक न होए पूछो जाए पधावा Padhau is the one who is already on the path, already on the way to the discovery. So if you are interested, if you have the urge, if you have the inner burning desire to get to the ultimate destination, then you are not going to be able to do it on your own. You're going to need some help. You're going to need some guidance. Who will give the guidance? Not the so-called people who have read some books, memorized some formulas, and they are parroting the same theory. You need those who actually can speak from the experience. So Gurbani guides us, say, पुछो जाए पधावा जो उस पत्थर उस पादर ते उस रस्ते ते चले हन उन्हां को पुछना पड़ेगा. Those who have been there, you got to seek that company, you got to seek that counsel. And what do you get from them? Here is the litmus test. पुछो जाए पधावा चले चाकर होए. The first thing on this path is the humility. Chakar literally means somebody who's a servant, a slave. You cannot walk on this path by being something, someone, somebody. That formula, I know I am no junk. I know I am somebody because God does not make any junk. That philosophy is good if you are dealing with the outer world. That philosophy is not going to work on the path of mysticism, on the path of spirituality. You have to accept the first condition, which is what? Hukm razai chalana nanak likhya na. What is hukm razai? How do I know that? What is your will? How do I know it? What is the right path? How do I know it? And Gurbani says, you don't have to know it. It is inside you. It is with you. The day you were born, it was given to you. Nanak likhya naal. It is inside you. The only problem is that you are so much lost in the noise of the outside that the inner voice has become completely dim. You don't hear it. You don't see it. Even if you hear it, you completely ignore it because it's not convenient. It's not that profitable to you. The profit that you're looking for in the immediate turn is not available, hence you ignore it. If that is the pattern, then this is not for you. You're wasting your time. You're pretending you are acting out as if you want to, but you really don't. Because if you do, then this is the first condition. Challe chakar hoye. So we took that message last time when we were here. Where is this message coming from? Gurbani says it's coming from those who've been there, who've done that. It is experiential awareness being passed on to you. From where? Next hymn clarifies that. So that's how you can see, and we keep on watching, that the compiler of this mysticism had some thought process behind when he said, put this hymn first, this hymn second, this hymn third. Here is a relationship. So you can see the last Ashatpadi ended at Pucho Jai Padhawan Challe Chakra Hoye. Who is saying that to you? Where is this message coming from? On whose authority? Next hymn starts, Gurte Nirmal Janiye. This message is coming from the one who has been there. Gur te nirmal janiye, nirmal dehe sharir. Now we need to pause here. The human body is the instrument through which you can experience the highest state of existence. Is the human body through which you can experience the sensual pleasures. It is the human body through which you experience the pain associated with it. So whatever you want to experience, it is being experienced through this vehicle. If you are focused on the negativity, then this vehicle is the source of pain. If you are focused on the positive, this is the one which will actually lead to the ultimate experience. So, if you get focused, as Buddhism did, Buddhism said, Manukh ka janam nahi hai, dukh ka janam hai. Why? Why dukkha? Well, because the body also experiences the pain and the sorrow and the misery. You can call this life a few pains separated by little gap of pleasures. Or this is a body which experiences lot of pleasures separated by few pains. This is your outlook. But Brahmgyani says further than that. He says, look, if you want to experience the state where there is no pleasure or pain, you still need the same body. So you can't condemn it. Which is one of the problem in majority of the Eastern things where, well, make the body go through suffering, the denial. And that way you can whip it into shape by putting it through further pain. And the Brahmgyani is saying, you really don't need to do that. There's no need for it. The body does not have to suffer. You have to change your paradigms. The change is required in your thinking. Change is required in your belief system, in your paradigms. Change is not required that you need to start starving or go sleepless or start doing various painful things. Who's saying that? It's coming from those who've been there. Gurte nirmal janiye. You find out from those who have gone there. The Punjabi word for that is gur, the one who's been there. What would he say? Nirmal dehe sharir. This is the body. Human body is the only vehicle which has the potential of being like the creative energy, experience like the creative energy. So when looking at from that angle, it is the best gift the nature could have given the entity, whether you want to call it soul, Atma, Paramatma, it doesn't matter, those are just terminology. The entity that's residing in this has the best gift. He could have given you the body of a dog, a cat, any other animal, any other bird. No, but he gave you the human body. And human body has something with other bodies don't. Which is, you have the potential now. You have the seed of becoming as much like the creative energy as you want to be. As a matter of fact, you can become just like it. Majority of the other religions do not open that door. They will tell you, be like a great person. Develop positive qualities as many. Drop as many negative qualities. So that when you have all the positive qualities, you can go to heaven. If you have too many negative qualities, you will go to hell. They do not open you the possibility that hell and heaven actually are two sides of the same coin. And we have discussed this many times here, that when they tell you develop positive qualities, actually what they are telling you is become like an animal, become like a bird. If they want you not to steal, the cat never steals anything, a dog never steals anything. If they tell you to work hard, the horse works so hard, you can't be even 10% of that. Don't lie, don't cheat, don't do this, don't do that. When you look at those characteristics, every one of them is available in the animal bird kingdom already, in its complete manifestation. No, that's not what Gurbani will say to you. No, wait a minute. You actually need to go beyond all of them. You may want to become godlike. Hence, in order to become godlike, you need the human body. You need that vehicle. And what it will do? Nirmal sacho man vase so jane ab peer. It is this vehicle which has the potential of what? Nirmal sacho man vase. The purest of all is possible to manifest inside this vehicle. This is a big paradigm shift for a majority of us, which is saying, look at that energy. That energy has no characteristics associated with it which the humans identify with. We were told in the very first 10-13 words, we were told Nirvair, Akal Murat, Ajuni, Swabhang, Nirbhav, Satnam. These are the characteristics of that energy. Means what? It is without all the characteristics that we associate with the human. And you can see that that model will immediately sit in contradiction to the Judeo-Christian model, because there the creative energy is judgmental and rewarding. It's a judge. It rewards you for the good thing, it punishes for the bad things. Whereas in Sikhism, that energy neither punishes nor rewards, it's beyond. All of that. All punishments and rewards belong to this dimension. We create our punishments, we create our rewards. That's our paradigm, that's not his paradigm. Karmi apo apani. It is our own choices that we try to associate with that. And here also that thought is further reinforced. It says, if you are on that path and you hear the message loud and clear, understand, Gurte nirmal janiye nirmal dehe sharir. The Guru is telling you, this body is the vehicle from which you can take the further step, and the very first thing would be what? Nirmal sacho manvasa. In your thought process, in your heart, in your behavior pattern, a sudden change will happen. Which is what? Which is more closer to that. So you will start looking at every decision you make, every action you take, you will start thinking. Right now we think our decisions are guided by what? Loki ki kahange. Isn't it? I don't want to do this. Loki ki kahange. We try to please the outside. How are we judged to be the society? If the society and the law does not object to our action, we are okay with that. On that journey, the test would be only one. Regardless of what society says, what law says, what would he say? Je tis nadar na avai ta vaat na puche. The whole test will be, how would he think? Sarmad was completely against the whole Islam. He was walking naked. And they're saying, okay, you are a faqih, why are you walking naked? And his question used to be, I have nothing to cover. I have nothing to hide. And he told the king, you have done so many things, even the cloth cannot cover it. So you should wear more clothes. I have nothing to cover. We understand that. So no, you don't. And they killed him, crucified him. The whole process shifts. Way of thinking shifts. If that happens, then the real truth start taking hold, taking roots inside your heart. Nirmal sacho man vasat. It starts taking roots inside you. It does not remain just a discussion point. It doesn't mean just a talking subject. It's not something to impress somebody. Because you couldn't care less what the others think. Because you have now made a choice. I am going to act. I am going to do what pleases that energy. Not the society. Not the parents. Not the laws. And if that journey starts, then what happens? Sahje te sukh agalo na lage jamati. If you get on that path, sahje te sukh agalo. In Gurbani, there are only two things. One type of sukha, one type of dukha. To what we call sukh and dukh is not Gurbani's definition of sukh and dukh. To us, if we are sitting on a nice sofa and wearing soft clothes, it's great, pleasant, pleasurable, a nice sunny day, good wind going on, I'm enjoying the life. No, you are not enjoying the life. You think you are. Actually, your sensory pleasures are getting satisfied. That's all it's like. Your senses are at peace with the outer environment. Your inner is not at peace. There's a certain turmoil going on. Why that turmoil? The turmoil is because of the cycle of life and death, coming and going. Being born is the, and to pay the price of the life's pleasures and pains is the true dukkha. And being freed from this completely and become back to the root. Pavane me pavana samaya. When you mati mati hoi ek, when everything merges into this, these things go into their elements, and the memory, the entity merges with the ultimate creative energy. That's the real sukha. Rest is all the game of the senses. And Gurbani does not take that. And so it points out, saje te sukha galo. That's why sukh is underlined. That's not grammar, as we have been led to believe. Underlining means think of this word. It's not, don't jump to the immediate translation of the word. ਸਾਰੇ ਸੁੱਖ ਮਿਲ ਜਾਣਗੇ ਜੀ, ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਆਇਆ ਕਰੋ. ਜਿਹੜੇ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਚਲਾਉਂਦੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸੁੱਖ ਹੈ ਨਹੀਂ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸੁੱਖ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਹੋਣਾ ਹੈ? Because we didn't understand that term. We fell into the ritual trap right away. Sahaje te sukha galo. You got to get the state of sahaj, to your natural state, your childlike existence, your that innocence where jo nar sukh mein sukh, dukh mein dukh nahi mane, sukh sane aur bhay nahi jaake, kanchan mati means the gold and the dust are one and the same. Are they? Do we look at that way? Let's think about that for a moment. Is there any one of us who has ever looked at something and said they're the one the same? Doesn't matter. I see ਘਰਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਲੜਾਈਆਂ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੀਆਂ, ਲੂਣ ਘੱਟ ਹੈ ਸਬਜ਼ੀ 'ਚ, ਦਾਲ ਮਿਰਚੀ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਪੈ ਗਈ ਹੈ, ਰੌਲਾ ਪੈ ਜਾਂਦਾ. Just the cooking of the food, if it's not to my taste, I don't accept it. I'm going to accept everything the same the way it is. ਇੱਕੋ ਜਿਹਾ ਸੰਗੋਂ ਲੱਥਾ ਕੀ ਲੱਡੂ ਤੇ ਕੀ ਮੱਠਾ. Is that how we live? No, we don't. We'll go to the market and look for the shiny things to wear and the soft things to wear and the softer and tastier things to eat, because we distinguish between those. And what are we distinguishing? Our palate is the one which is doing that karmindri, it is that sense of taste that is causing all of that. If you transcend the taste, suddenly everything is the same. It doesn't matter. If you transcend the touch, then soft and not soft will not make any difference. That's Sahaj Avastha. When you get there, then you start experiencing the glimpse of the true blessing. Sahaje te sukh agalo na lage jamati. Jam literally means the bondage of space and time. Tir literally translated as arrow. But that's not right. These are symbolic statements. You would not be hurt by the bondage of space and time if you start on that journey. Bhai re mail nahi nirmal jal naaye. Qurbani is pointing to a ritual which has become the basic staple of almost every religion. Go to a holy place, take a bath in a holy water. Tirtha Shanan Karna has become, Islam goes to Makkah, the Hindus goes to Ganges, and the Sikhs goes to Kiratpur, and it doesn't matter. Everyone has their own version of the same. And Gurbani says, hold it. Bhai re, mal nahi. You are not going to get pure. Mal literally means the impurity. Mal nahi. It's not going to go away by what? Jalanaye. If you take a dip in the holiest of holy water, that's not going to cause the purity. What it's going to do? It's only going to help the dust stick into the body drop. That's all it's going to do. Now that doesn't mean that you shouldn't do that. The body needs to stay clean. मेरे वर्गे सुस्ता ने जना नहीं सी नौना होंदा ना आखना पांच स्नाना मां ज्ञाना ने तो नौन दे लिदरी देखो जी नौना की बनदा कोई गल नहीं. Now wait. The body does not just breathe through nose and mouth. Body breathes through skin as well. You need to take the shower so that the pores of the skin remains open, so that the sweat and the breathing can take place, keeps your body healthy. But that's where it ends. It does not lead to any more purity or any more holiness. It doesn't matter where the water is coming from. So don't fall into the trap of the ritualism. भाई रे मैल नाही निर्मल जल नाए, निर्मल साचा एक तू होर मैल भरी सब जाए. निर्मल साचा एक तू. The only purity in the entire existence belongs to the ultimate creative energy. Everything else has certain type of impurity. Think about it. I mean, this is a very common experience of every household. You vacuum the rug, you brush it away, and you close the door, and you go to your office, you come back, and you look at there's still dust again, and you say, well, what the hell does dust keep coming from? What did I do wrong? Because we forget that this earth is traveling at the speed of 68,000 miles per hour around the sun. The dust is all around, not just you. Dust is all around the earth. You can't avoid it. You clean it, it'll come back. So it is impossible to consider the purity by looking at the outer environment. Nothing could be further from the truth. The outer environment is going to remain dusty. There is no way to get away from it. So, what should you be focusing on? You should be focusing on the inner self and see that's where the real purity is required. इसी करके we say he is antarjami. Antar means inside, jam means to stay, to live. He's inside. But we don't look inside. We keep on looking outside. There's a beautiful Sufi metaphor that the people are going to Hajj, to Makkah. On the way, they put a tent and they're going to spend the night there. Where they put the tent, there is a mystic. And the mystic, as the night falls, comes down, comes out of his hut and start looking something out where they had the lamp in their tent. So he is looking something around, and the people naturally got curious. They say, "What are you looking? What did you lose?" He said, I lost a needle." "You lost a needle here? What were you doing here?" "Oh, no. I lost a needle inside. I was actually sewing my robe, and I lost a needle there." But then why are you looking here?" "No, but there's only light here." The hut is dark. You gone insane? You lost the needle inside the hut and you're not looking there because there's darkness and you're trying to find it here because here is a light. And he said, what do you think you guys are doing? Aren't you going to look for Allah out there? You won't look inside because inside there's darkness. And you are traveling all the way from all of your villages going to look for Allah in Mecca. The reason you don't look inside because the moment you close your eyes and look inside, there's nothing but darkness. And you think you will find Him because there's a light outside. So I'm not any different than you. If you're going to find Allah, you don't need to go on a Hajj. You need to sit and start looking inside and create some light inside so that you can see inside. He is right there. The same thing is happening to us, to every one of us. We go looking outside. We go looking for the purity outside. We go on looking for everything outside because we have been conditioned that everything of any value that I got in my house, I went outside, I worked for it, and I brought it. We apply the same formula, then the God should be the same thing, let's go outside. And Gurbani says that's not going to happen. Turn inside. The real purity belongs to inside, not to the outside. Unless you change that habit pattern, and it will come and catch you every day. Right now, well, yeah, it makes perfect sense. Yes, I'm going to start looking inside. And what will happen? You'll sit down for about a minute. You say, how long have I been sitting here? My God. You'll open your eye within seconds. And then you will immediately think, did I close the door? Oh, let me check the gas. Oh, I need to take the telephone off the hook. Somebody should not call me because I'm going to sit. And guess what? All you are doing is looking outside. By the time you make all these arrangements, now, okay, the half hour is gone and I better take care of something. It never works out. You need to stay with that darkness. Unless you stay with it, you do not get familiar with it. Unless you get familiar with it, you do not find a way to get rid of it. And Gurbani says, all you are doing is taking care of the outer. And one of the way you take care of the outer is by going to the holy places and washing your body with those waters. And that's not going to work. If you want it to work, turn inside. Which is Sat Nirmal Sacha Ek Tu. The only pure energy is you. Everything else, Hor Mail Bhari Sab Jaye. Every other place there is some kind of dirt. And the dirt does not have to be like a sand dust or this. The dirt can be the dirt of ego, the dirt of attachments, the dirt of the greed. All those are types of dirt. And they are all inside and you need to start working on getting rid of them. Why? He says, look, Har ka mandir sohena kiya karne har. The Creator, Har ka mandir. Creator created His own temple and He is living in His own temple. What is that temple? That's the human body. I many times make fun of these so-called leaders who says, I am going to make God's house and it's going to be the biggest in the North America. I literally had that discussion in San Jose because they took about some 13-20 acre land and on a hill and they started building and said we have a budget of $6 million to make a building. Guru da ghar bana rahe hain ji, bilkul Amritsar varga. And I said, I am baffled by the arrogance and the ego of a Sikh who thinks he can build a house for his guru. If the guru was building a house for a Sikh, I could understand that. If God was building a house for you, I could understand that. How are you going to make a house for the God? How arrogant, how naive. But that's how we think. Gurbani points out, he says, you don't need to do that. The real temple is where he himself resides. Where does he reside? In every human entity, in every non-human entity. He is inside everything. So whole of his creation, whole of his manifestation is his temple. And he made it himself. Har ka mandar sohena kiya karne har. He created all of that. Rav, Sas, Deep, Anup, Jot, Tre, Bhavan, Jot, Apar. And in that, he created the source of drama. Rav, Sas literally stands for the sun and the moon, day and the night. It says, all that at play, he created to watch for, to play in his own playground. It is a Anup Jot. It's something that cannot be even compared with anything. It's such a unique and one of a kind drama. Anu. Roop means something that can be compared. Anup, something that cannot be compared. The opposite of that. Tribhavan Jot Apar. It is unlimited, boundless energy, and it has created its own house. What is that house? What is that temple? All the creation. Because it exists everywhere. It manifests in that little bird and a big giant and a little tree and a little stone. It does not matter. It is all there. So you do not fall into the perception that there is a temple, a mosque, a church, something where the God is going to reside. If that happens, you have taken your God and made him very, very small. Such a God cannot help anybody. So grow beyond these limitations of your own thinking and do what? Heart patan gad kothadi sach sauda vapar. Heart patan gad kothadi. Learn to do the right business. Which business? Sach sauda. Sach sauda vapar. Having been born, having been given that opportunity, learn to do the true trade. Learn to do the true transaction so that you actually honor the opportunity that has been given to you rather than insulting, which is what we do when we say Guru ka kar, Allah da kar. And every religion falls into that language trap, right? Let's make a God's house. And we come and pray, we light the candles, or we bow, or we do whatever we want to do. Get out of that. That's ritualistic. Now, does it mean we shouldn't do any of that? That's not what the message is. If you are focused on actually getting the darkness from inside out, it doesn't matter what you do, what symbol you use, what place you use. But if you are focused on, look how good a man I am, or how good a person I am, because I come every week here and I do all these things every week or every day or every month or once a year, doesn't matter, then you have fallen in the trap of ritualism. And that's why Gurbani hammers that thought, purity of thought, purity of action. What does that mean? What is a pure action? Any action that gets you closer to him is a pure action. Any action that gets you away from him is impure. It doesn't matter how much benefit you get. That's not the business. That's not the vapar that you want to do. How would you get that? Where is that clarity coming from? The next line hints to that. It says, Gyan anjan bhai bhanjana dekh naranjan bhai. Gyan means awareness, the knowing, not the knowledge. Understand the difference between knowledge and knowing. Knowledge is just information. Knowing is experience. See the word and then try to experience that. Just as if the word is water and you sit down and start repeating water, 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 you think you're going to not get thirsty because you're talking about water? You need to experience that. You need to drink it. Only then the thirst goes. That's what the Bani is talking about. That Gyan. Gyan anjan bhai bhanjana. When you get that type of awareness, bhai bhanjana, all kind of fear automatically disappear. All kind of duality, the doubts, automatically, oh, I now know. I have seen it, I have tasted it. And you will see that type of conversations even amongst your friends. If you will talk and say, well, how do you know this? Can you prove it to me? What are you going to do? And you say, no, I'm not going to prove it to you. But I tell you what, I'm telling you from experience, I've been there. This is the conversation every parent has with the child. The child argues back. But mom, it doesn't make sense. Better just do it. You will find out. I still remember my parent used to tell me, the only bad wish I am going to give you, you get a son of your own like you. And I got two of them. And now I know. I used to argue and fight back and do everything, and now I know. Because that was experience. Mine was just knowledge. And we all go through that. And Gurbani says, if you get that type of awareness, automatic, you do not need to ask any questions. And it happens to me, I can tell you, God knows how many gazillion of times, something suddenly pops into, oh, I now know why he used to say this. Suddenly lights goes up. Because I'm going through that phase of life, which certainly brings some message from the beyond and say, see, now you know why it was. In the metaphysical journey, in the spiritual journey, it's exactly the same kind of discovery. I usually call them aha moment. Suddenly, aha. And you, by yourself sitting and walking, and suddenly, you are enjoying as if a little kid is just having the sweet stuck to his palate, and you say, what? No way to explain this. No way to... No wonder my father said, I cannot tell you. My only mistake is I send you school. You have just learned to talk. You don't shut up and follow it. There are certain things in life, particularly in metaphysics, particularly in spirituality, where you just have to do it and not discuss it, not argue it. And suddenly something opens up. And what does that is? That is a bhai bhanjana. Bhai literally means dar. Bhanjan literally means to break apart into pieces. All kind of fear, the doubts automatically disappear. Oh, now I know. But you have to get on that path and get that awareness. Gyan anjan bhai bhanjana dekh naranjan bhai. And then when you get to that stage, suddenly more blessings start flowing from his side also. More grace start flowing from this side also. गुप्त परगट सब जानिए, जे मन राखे ठाए, ऐसा सतगुरु जे मिले ता सहजे लय मिलाए. गुप्त परगट सब जानिए. Gupata literally means that is secret. Pargat literally means something that's manifested out. And Gurbani basically says, because this particular concept has bothered Sikhism for a long time, because they fall into the trap. I mean, there is one, manifested Sargun hai ji, ye non-manifested, ye Nirgun hai ji. And they start translating Sargun and Nirgun. They get so lost. Everything that is manifested is Sargun. Everything. And there is only one that is hidden from our eyes. Only Brahmgyani knows it. O dekhe, una nadar na aave, bahta e vadan. He sees everything, but we don't see. He sees us, but we don't see. And Brahmgyani gets to that stage. Eka mai, jugte veai, tene chele parvan, ek sansari, ek pandhari, ek laye devan, o vekhe una nadar na aave, bahta e vadan. Gurbani gives that message right in the beginning of the scripture. Those of you who have the tapes of Japji can listen to that again. That the creation is what? A creator creating in such a way that he sees everything. To see him, you have to become a chela. Tene chele parvan, not ten. Tene. This is not a count of three. We discussed that in detail. We have translated it in standard wise. Ek Vishnu, ek Brahma, that's all completely away from. Gurbani is saying this Maya, Eka Mai, Jugte Veai, with a special technique it was created. And out of that creation, he left a way out. You can be a part of the game and you can continue ad infinitum. Or if you decide, you can get out also. That's your choice. It's not a requirement. It's not a compulsion. Nobody will come and shake you up and say, what are you doing? That something has to come from within you. Tene chele parvan. Usnu pagat parvan hoye. To ki hoya? Tene chele parvan ek sansari, ek pandhari. It's not ek sansari, duja pandhari, tija vai. That's not how it is. It's ek sansari. He's the one who created it. Ek pandhari. He's the one who sustains it. Ek lai diban. He's the one who destroys and recycles it. So, what's the beauty in that? Well, the beauty is, O vekhe una nadar na aave, bahta e vadan. That's the secret. He sees everything. If you want to see, you have to become the chela. You have to become the disciple. You have to get to the Brahmgyan stage. And that's what is being said here also. Gupat paragat sab janiye. Whatever was secret has manifested here. All you need to do is je man rakhe thai. You need to come to the sahaj. You need to come to that peaceful state of existence. You will be able to see that also. You will be able to actually experience that also. Aisa Satguru je mile ta sahje lay milai. If you have the blessing and the grace, you will get into the company of those who are on that path, and they will help you to get to that stage as well. कसकस वट्टी लाइए परखे हित चित लाए खोटे ठावर ना पाए नहीं खरे खजाने पाए कसकस वट्टी लाइए. This literally means that you get tested as to how pure you are. The jewelers, when you take the gold to them, particularly if you go to sell to them, they have a special type of stone. And on that, they take your bangle or whatever and they make a scratch. And when they make a scratch, based on that scratch, they know how pure that gold is. They can tell you whether it is 14 karat, 18 karat, 22, 424, just by scratching it. That's called kaswati. Just as a jeweler can check the purity of gold, Gurbani says, your purity from inside is also checked. You can't just sit, okay, oh God, make me a Brahmgyani, and He will do it. It's not going to work that way. He's going to see how ready you are, how ready that vehicle is. There is a beautiful metaphor in the life of Kabir. He was a mystic saint in the 15th century, and somebody went to him and said, would you please give me that pure word with which you got to that higher state? And he said, yeah, of course. That's available free to anybody who needs it. He said, I need it. Okay. It's just morning, I haven't taken my breakfast. Why don't you take this glass and go to that milkman and get some milk from there? And come back and we'll sit down and I will have my breakfast and I'll give you the secret. And the young man looks at the glass and the glass has dirt inside. So instead of going toward the milkman, he goes toward the hand pump where he could run the water and wash the glass. So when he turned toward that, Kabir says, wait, the guy is over there, not over there. No, I'm just going to wash the glass. He said, why? Well, I'm going to get milk. This has dust in it. And Kabir looks at him, and it looks to me that in your eyes, the value of the word is less than the value of this milk in this glass. Because before you put the milk, you want the glass to be clean. But before putting the word inside your mind-body system, you don't care whether it's clean or not. So you don't think that is worth even that much. First go. The vehicle which is going to contain that word which leads you to the ultimate state, you need to clean this thing up. Means what?
It has to be ready. Better ready.
Means what? If your mind-body system is fascinated and attached with the outside world, and just on a whim and fancy you think this is also something nice to have, it's not going to work. And every Brahmgyani knows that. So when you go to them and say, give it to me, they don't. They first make you to go through the process of cleansing, and that's what Gurbani is hinting here. Kas kasvatti laiye. You get checked. Parkhe hit chit lai. And that test that is going on is not from a mindset of condemnation. Parkhe hit chit lai. Look at the beauty of it. He really loves you. And He wants to make sure that you really get it. But in order to get it, the vehicle has to be ready. So He is looking at from that compassion that if I put something in here and it is not deserving, it will do more damage. Every psychologist knows that. That if the mind-body system has gone awry, what do they check? What were you trying to contain? Right? You probably have heard this, that a lady went to the priest and said, would you please pray, I bought the lottery. Says, I should get the lottery. I said, okay. In the evening prayer, he said, so and so came, he made so much contribution, and he should win the lottery. And lo and behold, they win the lottery. So the lady comes back. And says, Padre, I do not want to tell my husband. I said, why not? Well, I'm afraid he may have a heart attack. So why don't you tell him, I have already willed 10% of this to your church. Padri opens the lottery, looks at the amount and has a heart attack. Couldn't contain it. Couldn't contain the news. Isn't ready. And it happens to all of us. It's not that easy thing to take. So Gurbani says, he checks you to make sure that you are not damaged. He wants to give it to you. But he wants to make sure that you will be able to contain it. You will be able to deal with it. Kas kasvati laaye parkh hai hit chit laaye. Hit means he really has your compassion in his mind. He really has your goodwill in his mind. And he's checking you. Why? Khote thaur na paye. If you are impure inside, you won't be able to contain it. Khote means impure. Thaur means to be able to contain it, to stay. Khote thaur na paye. If you are impure inside, you will not be able to contain it. Khare khajane paye. Those who have made themselves ready, they are the only one who can contain it. That Shabad, particular for the Sikh community, the Shabad that Dudh piyo gobinde rai. Dudh piyo mero man pate aaye. Nahi to ghar ko paap rasaye. That is literally pointing out to this, that when Namdev has achieved a certain existence and certain experience, how does he know that this is the real one and not the false? Mind is not creating the drama inside. And that Shabad actually points out, Dudh piyo, accept me. If you accept me, I would know. If you don't accept me, and I think I have arrived, then it's all my own devil's workshop doing it. Soin katori, amrit bhari, le naame, hare aage dhari. I mean, these are such beautiful metaphors. और असांगे की था वो तो यार कहानी जोड़ के ऐसा सत्यानाश की था. दूध कटोरे गड़वे पानी कपल गाय नामे धोए आनी. शूद्र दे घर कपल गाय कितों होनी है? सोने दी कटोरी ओदे घर कितों होनी है? ब्राह्मण छड्डण लगा ना. वो क्या की रहा है? Soin katori. Sona, the gold is considered in Eastern mysticism a pure metal. I mean, we have a saying that you do not need to wash the parts made of gold and silver because they don't get bad. Glass and other things, if they are made of glass, you need to wash them. But चंद ते पाने कोई नहीं, जरा इंस्कार करा दो जी, ठीक है. Means what? It's a purity. It's so in katori. Mind body system is pure now. What is inside? एक भगत मेरे हृदय वसै, नामे देख नारायण हसै. From my point of view, there is nothing else left. Only you are. But unless you accept it, it could be all my own illusion. दूध पिलाए भगत घर गया, नामे हर का दर्शन भया. So every mystic, it comes to a stage where he has to validate. It's the same story with Jesus, that when devil appears and say, well, you are there, he said, well, how do I know? Well, I'll jump. Well, why should I jump? I don't doubt my Father. Why should I test him? Because testing itself means that I doubt him. See, that's the beauty. And these type of metaphors and parables are available in almost every mystic tradition in Sikhism as well. So Gurbani basically here points out and says, he tests you because he loves you. He does not want to put something, he does not want to give something to you that you may not be able to contain. Khote thaur na paaye ni, khare khajane paaye, aas andesa dur kar, yu mal jaye samaye. You get all doubts, all expectations, all kind of variations out of your mind-body system, and you will suddenly see that you're getting ready and closer to that creative energy. And if you are, this is the test, which is what? Sukh dukh samakar janiye. Pleasure and pain would become absolutely the same. It's very difficult for us to even perceive such a thought. How is that possible? When it hurts, it hurts. Yeah. What hurts? Think about that. We are trapped by our language. I am hungry. I am sleepy. I am happy. I am sad. Are you sleepy? Body may be sleepy. Body may be hungry. Body may be experiencing the pain. Body may be experiencing the pleasure. Are you? Are you the body? Think about it. Who are you when the body is asleep or under anesthesia and being cut and chopped into pieces? If you are the body, and the doctor gives you an injection and open your body into half, where are you then? Obviously, you are not the body. But we do not separate ourselves from this. Sarmad actually went through that experience when they chopped his foot. And he says, don't you hurt? He said, well, are you kidding? This is the first time I'm going to experience. You watch the foot being cut, I will also watch the foot being cut and see how it is. The foot is being cut, I'm not being cut. I'm still the observer. But that's not just talking. You have to get to a stage where you can observe away from the body. And that's possible. It's not a theory. It's not a metaphor. Sukh dukh samakar janiye. It is completely possible. In Sikhism, for 250 years, that was demonstrated by various masters at various levels. Fifth master's body was literally roasted on the fire. He was boiled in the water. The rest of the world is yelling and screaming and crying, and he is sitting there. But that's a Brahmgyani. We never have, a Sikh has never discussed Guru Arjan's sacrifice from a mystical point of view. Has never been discussed. They only talk about चंदू भैड़ा की कर रहा है, वो भैड़ा की कर रहा है, देखो जी जालम की कर रहे हैं. Don't understand the message being given, the demonstration being given. They don't understand why ninth master would walk and the king will insist, I have no quarrel with you. Half of the people say you are a mystic. Half of the people say you are a fake. I do not know the truth. I want to know the truth. Show me a miracle so that I can tell them he's a mystic. And Guru says, miracle is a magician's word. That's not a mystic's word. A magician does these tricks. A mystic would not bring down the highest state of existence to the level of a magician. If that's the only proof you need, you are not going to get it. He said, okay, then I would think that you are a fake. Then I have no other choice but to kill you. He said, well, go ahead. You're not killing me. What do you mean I'm not killing you? Well, come on. Chopping the body into pieces is killing somebody? No, who's going to have a conversation like that? Chopping the body into pieces is not killing me. Can anybody who's not a mystic say that? And that's what they did. They chopped the body. He didn't show anything. And the Sikhism had no clue what the message was being given. Christianity had one martyr. And they created the world around one mystic. Sikhs have mystics. They are so full of the numbers, you can't even count them. Why? Because they didn't run with the message. That's the example of Sukh Dukh Dono Samakar Jana Nahe Man Apmana Har Kusogate Rahe Nayara. Positive and negative merged into one. Body is nothing more than a car you take to shopping and park it on the parking lot and go inside do shopping. For a mystic, that's all that is, a vehicle. For us, it can be, if we follow the instructions given here, Sukh ko mang as andesa dur kar iumal jaye samaye. If you trust this word and stop arguing about it, get all the doubts out of it, you will get there, but you don't do that. What do? Sukh ko mange sab ko. Dukh na mange koi. Everybody is looking for the pleasure. Nobody wants the pain. What have they forgotten in this? Next line says, Sukh ko dukh agla manamukh booj na hoy. There is not a single pleasure of the physical body which is not followed by the pain. Pick one. If you think that this is all pleasure. Even the food you eat with so much enjoyment eventually is not able to stop the body from aging. Isn't it? All the clothes you wear cannot stop the illness from coming. Every happiness, we go and beg for children, and suddenly the same children become the source of pleasure of once, pain the next day. We beg for friends, the same thing. We beg for business, the same thing. Money, wealth, doesn't matter. You beg for power, source of trouble eventually. There is not a single sukha available on this planet which does not have its counterpart, which is the dukkha. They are joined at the hip. When we ask for it, we only look at the one side. And when the second comes up, Main tera bhi goya. Why are you doing this to me? No, he's not doing anything to you. The sukha you wanted was already condemned to have the dukkha to follow by it. And Gurbani says, Sukh ko mange sab ko, dukh na mange koe, sukhe ko dukh gala. Oh Polya, har sukh de baad dukh auna hai, tu kyun nahi is gal nu samjhda? Why keep on asking the same? When are you going to stop and say, okay, I don't want any more? Get me out of here. Seen enough. That's something I'm not going to say. Manmukh booj na koi. Follow the mind thought process. Don't get that riddle. Don't solve it. To ki hunda hai? Sukh dukh samakar janiye shabad ped sukh hoye. Till he till we pick up that word and practice that word, cleanse ourselves, we do not get to the experience of that state that the both pain and pleasures are the sides of the same coin. Ved pukare vachiye bani brahma beas. So what has led to this? Why is the reason why we do not wake up from this? Here is the problem. From the day one, we have been conditioned, trained. All scriptures, all existing religion, all priests, preachers, they all say the same thing, which is Ved Pukare Vachiye. Go study them. They give you the formula to create the physical pleasures. That's basically it. And we fall the trap of that. Bani Brahma Beas. We do not get to the actual discussion about the Brahm. If we were to actually discussing that, Munjan Sevik Sadaka Nam Rate Gunatas. If we were ever to get to that, we would then become the sadhik. We will become the seeker. And the seeker has what formula? Namarate gunatas. You'll stop asking and seeking the pleasures of the senses. You stop running after them. Then there is only one urge left, which is Dudh piyo gobind de rai. That's all you want. I want to cut back to the home. Till that urge starts, it does not happen, and what continues? Sach rate se jin gaye. Those who have understood it, jin gaye means win. Jin means jitna. To win the game of life. Sach rate se jin gaye hoon sad balahare jas. How did they do that? How? The ego. What did they do? Balahare. They surrendered it. This word has been very misunderstood and misinterpreted in Gurbani. It is not balahari jana. Balahari छोटे तो जाया जाता है, आपने तो बड़े तो नहीं जाया जा सकता. जेदे बलहारी गुरे आपने, मैं अपने गुरु तो बलहार जाना. No, गुरु तो बलहार असी नहीं जा सकते. Actually है balahari. Surrender your ego, surrender your arrogance, surrender your somebodyness to that ultimate energy. Become humble, destroy the ego. That's how you will get closer to that. Chau jug male mal bhare jin mukh naam na hoye. Those who have denounced this, as we have a saying, oh ji, ye jag ditha, ye dak mitha agla kene ditha, chhado ji ki gallan karni hai, khao piyo lao na de. Since there is no proof of anybody coming back from that world, why bother? It is just a talk. And that's fine. As I said, nobody comes down from the higher above and say, thou shalt not do this. It is a complete freedom of choice. And you have to make it conscientiously, the choice. Those who don't, chau jug male mal bhare jin mukh naam na hoye. They think they are doing pure thing, but they are the impurest of the impure. Bhakti bhaye vehuneya mu kala patak hoye. Without the meditation, without his naam, the whole of the life cycle is wasted. Jinni naam visarya avgan mutti roye. Eventually, what is the end result of these? They only, when they get to the stage where they can do nothing about it, then they start repenting over it. I wasted my life. I should have done something sooner. But by that time, it's too late. Then what happens? Again, cycle starts. खोजत खोजत पाया डर कर मिले मिलाए आप पछाणे घर वसे हाउ में तृष्णा जाए नानक निर्मल उजले जो राते हर नाए खोजत खोजत पाया. So Gurbani puts a stamp on it, says this is the word of those who have actually searched, and not just searched but actually reached somewhere. Khojat khojat, they did seek, but their seeking eventually got to where? Khojat khojat paya. They actually achieved something. They are the one who is saying this, dar kar mile milai. If you can also accept that word, surrender to yourself, you can get there as well. Aap pachane ghar vase. Aap pachane. मन तू ज्योतिर स्वरूप है अपना मूल पहचान. आप पहचाने. Recognize the self. You are not the body. You are not the mind. You are not the name. You are not the society. You are not the family tree. You are something more pure and holy. Which is what? You are his essence. If he is the sun, you are just a ray. That's the only difference, but you are a ray. Recognize that fact. Accept that fact. Aap pashane ghar vasai. Ghar vasai means to come back into and stabilize your mind-body system inside. Ghar means this body. Ghar vasai, to come and stay. Let the mind, rather than wandering all the way all over the place, sit down inside and haume trishna jai. Haume means the ego, the awareness of the self. When that disappears, nanak nirmal ujjare jo rate harnaye. Those who have taken that word, the naam, the shabad, and actually done something with it, they eventually succeed in the purpose of life, which is to end the cycle of life and death. So this is the Ashatpadi number 7. With that, we will conclude it here, and when we meet next, we'll pick up the Ashatpadi 8. With that, I want to thank you all for coming, and if anything I said that might have offended anybody's sensitivities, I apologize for the wrong choice of words. And if anything touched you, consider it as a message from the beyond and do something with it. Thank you once again, and we open for any questions.